in your life, you must always predict growth and get better. Always think that things will grow and always put effort into making that happen. Your attitude plays a big role in how successful you'll be. Even when times are tough and the economy isn't doing well, some people and companies still do great. This is because some believe in cutting back and doing less when things are bad, and others simply respond by becoming busier and more aggressive. Whatever a person can imagine and believe, they can achieve. This idea comes from my mentor, Earl Schoaf. He told me that negative feelings often stem from not reaching our full potential. When you feel negative, it's often because you think you could be doing or achieving more. You might feel like something is holding you back, and sometimes we mistakenly believe it's ourselves. This shift from being active to passive can happen when we think this way. Consider the 80-20 rule. About 20% of people are proactive like you. They take action and put effort into things. Meanwhile, around 80% are passive. They wait, hope, and may have given up on making changes themselves, instead hoping for something to happen to them. This is why many people buy lottery tickets. They're hoping for a lucky break. Did you know that 68% of young people today, when asked what they want to be when they grow up, say they want to be celebrities? Many young people dream of becoming famous, whether as a sports star, a musician, or a dancer. They aspire to participate in shows like Dancing with the Stars or American Idol. They see celebrity culture all around them, and in the media where celebrities like Oprah Winfrey make headlines. A staggering 68% of young people believe that their future lies in becoming a celebrity. They are captivated by the idea of fame and fortune, even though the chances of achieving such fame are extremely slim. Just one chance in hundreds of thousands or even millions. Despite this slim chance, many young people remain fixated on the glamorous lifestyle of celebrities. For instance, when Oprah makes a rare appearance on television, it becomes big news. Some people are so obsessed with celebrity culture that they closely follow Oprah's schedule. Now, if you're watching Oprah, it means your life is lousy. You don't have a life. You see, some people become so fixated on Oprah and what she's doing that they forget about their own lives. They might spend hours on social media talking about Oprah or reading news articles about her. God bless Oprah. Oprah could come and go. But here's the thing. Oprah's life and the news about her probably don't have much impact on your own life. Even if your city is on the front page of the newspaper for 50 years straight, it likely won't change much for you personally. Yet people still obsess over Oprah. Instead of spending all that time focused on Oprah, imagine if you spent more time with your loved ones, especially your kids. You could build strong relationships and have wonderful experiences together. So maybe it's worth considering how you're spending your time and whether there are better ways to find fulfillment and joy in your own life. One of the most crucial steps you can take to achieve success is to manage what you're exposed to in your surroundings. It's important to ensure that what you see and hear aligns with the goals you want to accomplish. For example, consider listening to educational audio programs while you're driving. Did you know that the average person drives between 12,000 to 25,000 miles per year? That's a lot of time spent in the car. About 500 to 1,000 hours per year for most people. Instead of just listening to music or the radio during your commute, you could use that time to feed your mind with valuable knowledge and insights that can help you progress towards your goals. By making this simple change in your daily routine, you can turn what might otherwise be idle time into a productive opportunity for personal growth and development. Becoming an expert in your field isn't as hard as it may seem. One way to do it is by making the most of your time, like when you're driving. They can teach you a lot while you're on the go. Another great way to learn is by attending seminars led by experts in your field. These events give you the chance to hear directly from people who know their stuff. You can also take extra courses to dive deeper into your area of interest. But it doesn't stop there. To truly master your field, you should soak up as much knowledge as possible from those who've already succeeded. Don't be afraid to ask them questions. Send them letters and read their books and explore their articles. By listening to people with a proven track record in your chosen field, you'll gain valuable insights and tips that can help you reach your own goals. Having a vision for yourself and your life can be incredibly valuable. It's like having a roadmap that can save you a lot of time and money. Imagine if you knew exactly where you wanted to go and how to get there. It could prevent you from wandering aimlessly or making costly mistakes. To have a vision, you need to dream big. As the song goes, you've got to have a dream if you want to make a dream come true. It's true. Your dreams can become a reality if you work towards them. Think about all the influential people. Throughout history, they were all dreamers. They had big visions for themselves and the world around them. By following their dreams, they were able to make remarkable achievements and leave a lasting impact in life. Having a clear idea of where you want to go is crucial. Leaders especially understand this importance. In the book of Solomon, there's a saying that goes, "Where there is no vision, the people perish." This means that when people lack a vision for their future, they can feel lost and unfulfilled. Often people scale back their dreams because of past disappointments or fears of failing again. They make their vision smaller and safer, but in doing so, they lose the spark that makes life thrilling and they wonder why life isn't exciting. I recently came across a great saying that goes like this: "The best way to predict the future is to create it." This means having a clear idea of what you want your future to look like. Imagine your vision as something floating in the air or sky. To make it real, you need to lay down the groundwork, like building a strong foundation under your dreams. When you look at people who start from very little and become well-known and successful, you often find they had big dreams. They imagined themselves achieving things that seemed impossible at first. They didn't settle for less. Instead, they worked hard to turn their dreams into reality. Think back to when we were kids. We all had dreams of growing up, getting our own cars, having homes, families, and even traveling the world. It's like we had a roadmap in our minds of what we wanted our lives to be like. Surprisingly, as we grew up, we found a way to make many of those dreams come true. It's amazing how we tend to reach the goals we set for ourselves. But now, sometimes our goals are too small. Even when we achieve them, they don't make us feel excited or fulfilled. So here's a thought. Why not dream big? Instead of setting small goals, aim for something huge. Focus on the results you want to achieve, not just the things you do to get there. That's the real key to living a truly fulfilling life. It's important to know exactly what you want to achieve. This is a big secret to reaching your highest potential, also known as peak performance. People who excel in their fields always focus on the end results they want to see. On the other hand, those who often fall short or don't reach their full potential tend to focus more on just staying busy with activities. For some people, it's like they're constantly moving, always working hard, sometimes even to the point of exhaustion. They might put in more hours than anyone else, but they forget why they're doing it in the first place. They lose sight of the actual results they're aiming for. Ben Trigo, the strategic thinker, once said, "The very worst thing in the world is to do very efficiently what need not be done at all." It's like putting a lot of effort into something that doesn't really matter. Sadly, many of us fall into this trap. We work really, really hard on things that aren't important. If you've ever had people working for you, you've probably noticed this too. They might be doing their tasks with great dedication, but sometimes those tasks don't actually help the business succeed. That's why it's crucial to focus on results, the things that truly make a difference. Here's a helpful question to ask yourself at work. What results are expected of me? Instead of just focusing on what you do each day, think about what you're supposed to accomplish in your role. Another good question is, why am I on the payroll? What value do I bring to the team? These questions can help you stay focused on what really matters in your job. Let me give you a powerful word with you that can make a big difference in your career. It's how. Starting now, whenever you have a goal, a problem to solve, or an obstacle to overcome, the only question you ask yourself is, how? Here's why how is so amazing. It gets your brain working on ideas. These ideas turn into actions you can take right away. And when you start taking action, you get feedback. This feedback helps you adjust your plans and take even better steps toward reaching your goals. Here's the difference between average people and top achievers. When average people encounter a problem, they often complain or blame others. But top achievers? They focus on finding solutions. They ask themselves, how can I make this work? They keep trying different things until they succeed. It never crosses their mind that they won't eventually reach their goals. So when people aim for something, they start by figuring out what they want and how to get it. But here's the thing. Success usually begins with understanding. And understanding means knowing yourself and understanding the world around you. This doesn't happen overnight. It takes time and effort. It's like doing a bit of studying. Secondly, you've got to put in the work. When I first started learning from Mr. Show a few years ago, he talked about the work. This means there's always something you have to do to achieve your goals. For example, if you want to get fit or lose weight, it's not just going to happen magically. You have to put in the effort. Sadly, a lot of people, especially the majority of 80% of them, are what you might call lazy. And there are different levels of laziness. Some are just a bit lazy, some are very lazy, and some are bone lazy. One of the big issues we're facing in our society today is that some people want all the rewards without putting in the effort. They look at successful people like millionaires and billionaires and think they just got lucky. But here's the truth, most of those successful people started with nothing. Many were poor or immigrants from the third world. And they worked incredibly hard for 20 or 30 years to achieve financial success. Now, some people argue that these successful people should be forced to share their wealth with those who haven't been as fortunate. They believe it's unfair, that some people have so much while others have so little. But the reality is, success usually comes from hard work and dedication, not just luck. Some people think success is just luck. They believe if you're successful, you don't really deserve it. So it should be taken away and given to others. But the truth is, achieving any kind of success requires a lot of hard work and effort. The good news is there's nothing stopping you from reaching your goals. You just need to figure out how to do it. Every successful person you see today was once a failure. They all started from somewhere they might have been in the bottom 10%, but they worked hard and set clear goals for themselves. They didn't just sit around waiting for things to happen, they took action. They learned specific skills and did things differently from the average person. And guess what? Their lives changed dramatically, like pressing down on the gas pedal of a supercar. So if you're willing to put in the effort and make some changes, your life can take off too. Sometimes not knowing just one thing can hold you back for a long time. But here's the good news. You should never let the lack of knowledge or skills stop you. That's because every skill you need to succeed in business, make money, or achieve success is something you can learn. Everyone who's successful today didn't know everything they know now at some point. They had to learn along the way, so you can learn too, no matter what it is. Whether it's a business skill or a money-making skill, you can pick it up. Here's what we've learned about business. All business skills are learnable. Whether it's managing finances, marketing, or communication, you can learn it if it helps you make more money. So, don't let a lack of knowledge hold you back. Dive in and start learning. If you work in sales, you can learn any sales skill there is. And if you're looking to earn money, there's a skill for that too. You just need to learn it. All business skills are learnable. Now, there are some skills that might be a bit trickier to master, like playing the violin or excelling in sports or art. Those are special skills that not everyone can pick up easily. But when it comes to business, the playing field is level. Every person who's skilled in business today didn't start out that way. They recognized a skill they needed, put in the effort to learn it, and practiced until they got good at it. Just like others before you, all it takes is dedication, practice, and maybe some courses to help you along the way. When I was growing up, I always felt like other people were smarter than me. And when you think others are smarter, you might start to believe that you're not as smart or as valuable as they are. This feeling of being less valuable than others is a big problem in the world today. Feeling worthless or not very important can lead to all sorts of issues. It can make you feel bad about yourself, leading to low self-esteem, negativity, anger, and even depression. Worst of all, it can make you give up on yourself and stop trying altogether. This feeling of worthlessness is one of the biggest problems we face in the world today. Having high self-esteem or feeling good about yourself is one of the best things you can have. But here's the thing I've learned: nobody is smarter or better than you. Sure, some people might have different talents and skills, but if you look closely, you'll see that talents and skills are pretty evenly spread out among everyone. In fact, you probably have more talents and abilities than you realize, enough to last you 100 lifetimes. So, don't sell yourself short. You're just as capable as anyone else out there. It's all about recognizing your own worth and believing in yourself. The essence of all human wisdom is self-knowledge. Understanding yourself means knowing who you are and why you think and feel the way you do. This is called interpersonal intelligence. And it's considered by experts at Harvard as a key factor for achieving great success. Having interpersonal intelligence involves really getting to know yourself, your strengths, weaknesses, and everything in between. Interestingly, people who excel in life are often very honest about themselves. They know what they're good at and what they're not so good at, and they're not afraid to admit it. In fact, they take pride in their strengths and work on improving their weaknesses. That's a big part of what makes them successful. When you look at all the teachings of spiritual doctrines, religions, meditation practices, philosophies, and great thoughts throughout history, they all aim to bring people to a place where they experience complete peace of mind. The main idea is this: if you make peace of mind your top priority, you're less likely to make mistakes. When peace of mind is your main goal, everything else in life tends to fall into place. Imagine this. You could have everything else in the world: wealth, success, fame. But if you don't have peace of mind, you'll still feel like something's missing. You might be unhappy, frustrated, angry, or irritated. That's why peace of mind is so crucial. So it's important to ask yourself, what brings me peace of mind? When do I feel most at ease and content? By understanding what brings you peace of mind, you can focus on those things and live a more fulfilling life. When you begin without fear or negative feelings, your mind becomes like an empty space. And in that space, peace flows in effortlessly. It's like when you've solved all your problems and everything feels just right. Those moments are what we call peak experiences. They're the times when you're happiest. But here's the thing. These moments of peace and happiness don't just happen by chance. You don't stumble upon them like finding a coin on the ground. Instead, you have to intentionally create a life that brings you a sense of peace and contentment. Happiness, as Aristotle once said, the ultimate aim of all human behavior is to be happy, just to achieve your own happiness. Even if you achieve everything else in life but lack inner peace and happiness, you're still falling short to some extent. So it's important to prioritize your happiness and inner peace above all else. Think about those stories you hear of. Super successful people who make loads of money, party hard, and live it up like Charlie Sheen. But then some of them end up feeling so empty inside that they turn to destructive behaviors, or even worse, take their own lives. It's like they have all the money, fame, and glory, but they're missing something really important: the inner peace. Psychologists use a diagram called the internal versus external locus of control to explain this. It's like a scale that shows where you think control over your life comes from. On one end, there's the internal locus of control, where you feel like you're in charge of your own destiny. Americans in general tend to have a strong sense of this. They believe they're the ones making their own decisions and shaping their lives. On the other end, there's the external locus of control. This is when you feel like other people or outside forces control your life, like your boss, your bills, or circumstances beyond your control. Right now, you're right here, and every decision you make is like taking a step in one direction or another. But here's the good news. When you have an internal locus of control, that means feeling like you're in charge of your own life. You feel really happy and confident. You become more positive and creative too. And that's what we're trying to achieve here. People who have a strong internal locus of control feel really good about themselves. They feel powerful, like they can handle anything that comes their way. They feel empowered to make their own choices and shape their own destiny. It's like having a strong sense of self-worth and confidence that propels you forward in life. Here's something really interesting to think about. You can't actually give away control of your life, except to other people. Even if you let someone else take control, you're still responsible for what happens. It all starts with your thoughts. If you're thinking positively, you'll feel good, and that will lead to positive actions. Control really begins with what's going on in your mind. Your thoughts influence how you feel. How you feel affects what you do. It's like a chain reaction. Your thoughts set the tone for everything else that follows. Having goals and ideas in life gives you a sense of purpose and meaning. They're like the fuel that gets you out of bed in the morning, excited for the day ahead. You might find it hard to stay in bed when you have things to do because you're eager to get started. On the other hand, people who don't have clear goals or things they're passionate about might enjoy sleeping in because they don't see a reason to get up. But for those who are actively pursuing something important, sleep can sometimes feel like a nuisance. Sure, it's necessary for rest and rejuvenation, but they see it as something they have to do quickly so they can get back to the things that bring them happiness, peace of mind, and financial success. It's like they're eager to get back to working on their goals and filling their lives with purpose. There are a few key areas you should always take a good look at. First off, consider what your core competencies are, basically what you're really good at, whether you're an individual or a business. You begin with certain skills or strengths that help you create something valuable to people that they want, need, and are willing to pay for. For instance, every employee has their own set of core competencies that allow them to make a meaningful contribution to their work. Similarly, every company has its own unique strengths that help it not only survive, but also thrive in a competitive market. These core competencies are like the foundation that supports everything else. So it's important to understand what they are and how they can be used to your advantage. Think about what your company excels at. What makes your company stand out? Consider the unique talents, skills, and abilities of yours. It's important to recognize and leverage these strengths. Also keep in mind that what brought you success in the past might not be enough to keep you ahead in the future. If you're not constantly improving your knowledge and skills in your core areas, you're actually losing ground. It's like the saying goes, if you're not getting better, you're getting worse. Now think about your own personal strengths. What are those special talents and skills that make you really good at what you do? These are the unique qualities that help you accomplish important tasks effectively. Just like with your company's core capabilities, it's crucial to continually improve and enhance your personal skill set. This means constantly learning and upgrading your existing skills. It's not just about staying where you are. It's about staying competitive and relevant in today's ever-changing market. So make sure you're always striving to become better at what you do. In fact, continuous learning might be the most important thing you can do to stay ahead. This means always seeking out new knowledge and skills that will make you more competent so you can achieve your goals effectively.